Hello everyone, this is Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know that many of you have been sending a lot of emails asking, hey Joel, what's the latest? Haven't heard from you, where are the emails? Needless to say, I can assure you it has been an exceptionally busy year this year. If you were following some of my previous videos from earlier in the year, I talked about how I was traveling around meeting with different people from around the country who can be exceptionally good and influential players and can influence change in our industry. Much of it to do with Medicaid brokers. Hence the reason I want to share this video to you with you today, because it's been long since in the progress for I think maybe May or June, we started working with providers out in California who were currently contracted with the Kaiser hub. And MTM, again, this is just a phenomenal victory we just had with MTM. It's been exceptionally protracted and long process, but it's been phenomenal. Long story short, MTM was trying to get the Kaiser contract out in California. Very profitable opportunity for our providers out there. Classic example, some of our providers were making anywhere from 130, 140, 150 plus for gurney pickups, plus mileage. Some of their wheelchairs were anywhere from $45, $55, $65, $75 just for the pickup, again, with great mileage. Plus Kaiser have been paying them phenomenal, in addition to the mileage, other ancillary fees as well. So Kaiser has been an excellent opportunity for so many of our UMTPG members out in California. And so all of a sudden it's announced out of the blue to our providers that, guess what? MTM is taking over the Kaiser contract. And in typical broker fashion, MTM wants to celebrate it and make it sound like it's something great and magnanimous for all of our providers. All the while, they want to cut their rates of reimbursement anywhere from 40, 50, 60, 70%. Absolute embarrassment. So again, what's been so phenomenal is that the strategic relationships that we were able to develop from earlier in the year with some very influential people gave us phenomenal information and insight ahead of time. Now, if you'll recall in some of my previous videos where I talked about back in 2012, when we helped get Logisticare thrown out of the state of Wisconsin, I refer to it as a Boston Tea Party up there. It was a great success, but the problem was that situation with Logisticare was us playing catch up. It was happening. Logisticare was already there. It was like herding cats to work with the providers and bring everything together. So yeah, it was successful, but it was very difficult. In this instance, we absolutely thumped MTM in advance because, again, we've had great insight and information of what was happening before it took place. So we were already able to go out there, connect with people, and gather a lot of information. I mean, I have so much information. We have volumes upon volumes of information that my staff and I are still working to compile and put together, because a lot of this is going to serve as a roadmap for certain areas where we continue to fight these brokers, whether it's Logisticare, MTM, Access to Care, whoever. Long story short, in typical broker fashion, MTM pronounces to all the providers out there in celebratory fashion, we're going to launch in August. I think August was their first launch date. You better join now. If you don't join now, you're not going to be part of the network. You're going to miss out. All the typical broker nonsense, jargon, pomp and circumstance, hot air crap. Well, guess what happens? We're fighting them behind the scenes, and at the time, MTM had no idea what we were doing. August comes around, nothing. They can't get the contract off the ground. So then they're going to have a September launch date. They hold their town hall meetings for providers, tell them that you better come out there. In some instances, some of these MTM reps, just without prior notification, just showed up on the offices of some of our providers and wanted to inspect their office space, wanted to inspect their vehicles. I mean, they didn't even have an appointment. That's how, that's exactly a typical broker. They just think that because they're a Medicaid broker, everyone's supposed to bow down to them so they could do what they want. Typical bully fashion. Anyways, September comes around. Guess what? Can't get the contract off the ground. they can't launch. So then we go to October and they celebrate a new round of emails. Okay, here's the new launch date. Guess what do you think? What do you think happened in October? Same thing. Why? Because the providers were not agreeing to the contracts individually. Again, we were working with so many different providers on an individual basis. So October comes around. Then MTM is happy to celebrate. Now it's going to be a November launch. What do you think happens? MTM still can't pull it off. Behind the scenes, Kaiser's ready to dump them. They're laughing like this is the biggest flop, biggest waste of time. So now we finally just got notification that as of January 3rd, MTM is finally going to have their launch. But guess what? They're not going to have any wheelchair or any stretcher transports. The only thing that they're going to be managing in this contract is the ambulatory transports. I can't stress to you, especially behind the scenes and having key contacts who are closely affiliated with MTM and other. Not only has this been a huge flop and embarrassment for MTM, it has been a magnanimous loss. Not only a loss because these number crunchers and paper pushers who they send from Missouri out to California, who have no comprehension of the local dynamics, no understanding of what the providers actually need or the rising cost of labor and things like that associated with California. No clue of that. But that aside, these number crunchers and paper pushers go out there. I mean, that costs MTM money. So not only did they lose money holding all these laughable town hall meetings and all the correspondence, but they have been so embarrassed and lost so much money. Do you know how much money was on the table that they just lost? Because they're not going to be having wheelchair or stretcher transports as part of their contract. They are only going to be doing ambulatory work. Again, this has been a phenomenal success, a huge success for what we've been doing over these many months. Again, I think we started in May or June. And so much of it, I have to give so much credit to so many of the providers that we were working with. They not only provide us a great deal of information, but also a lot of the key contacts that God has just blessed us with, to have key contacts who we met with in key parts of the country earlier this year who gave us great insight to let us know in advance what was happening. Again, what happened in Wisconsin, we were playing catch up. But here, we just totally kicked MTM's butt because we knew in advance what was happening. So we were able to go out there and start working in advance. So it's been a huge success. So what's the point of all this? Two things. Number one, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, you, the transportation provider, you have all the leverage. You hold all the cards. You have the assets, the vehicles, the equipment, the personnel. MTM, Logisticare, Exitacare, Southeast Trans, ABC, XYZ, all these brokers are just that, brokers. They have no assets. So do not be bullied or intimidated by them. That's the problem that I encounter with so many providers out there, is they do get intimidated. They think all these hard deadlines, they have to act now. That's all designed to force you into making a poor decision. And again, you are a business owner. You do not make poor decisions. You don't allow someone else to force you to make poor decisions. You need to make very good, sound, calculated, profitable decisions. And then the second thing is, guess what? The best is yet to come. We have a roadmap for success. We have a lot of key areas we're already targeting where we're going to go in and start fighting against the brokers. And here's the best part. MTM had no clue about what we've been doing for these many, many months. And we just totally came in and kicked their butt. It's been phenomenal. So continue to stay tuned. I will have more information coming out very soon, new videos, new emails, a lot of great content coming out. Again, I apologize because it was a very busy year. So stay tuned. We have a lot more. The best is yet to come. So as always, I'll see you at the top.